Good morning to one and all who has been present over here today for today's webinar. First of all, I would like to thank Francis Xavier Engineering College, Dr. T. Subbulakshmi ma'am, to give an opportunity to interact with you guys. So today's topic, what I have chosen for you guys is blockchain technology too powerful to ignore. So before going to that, let me introduce myself. I am Shankar. I am as an assistant professor of computer science department from Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. Okay, let's move on to the topic today. The blockchain technology, too powerful to ignore. The main purpose why I have chosen this technology, why I want to prove to you guys this is a powerful tool that can't be ignored. When compared to machine learning, artificial intelligence, we have so many domains is there available. But the booming up in the industry is blockchain technology. So what is the plan for today is, so I don't want to discuss with you all the details about the basic of introduction. It starts from introduction to the next phase of your blockchain. What is your architecture, how it works, all the things. I just don't want to tell all about these things today. So the thing what I want to share with you guys is exactly I want to show you how the blockchain technology is getting applied in the current industry standards and interest in the markets. Okay, so let me go ahead with the first thing, agenda for today. What is that today we're going to cover? We are going to have 4 sections here. So section 4 it's blockchain intro, and section 2 it is for real case studies, and third is for impact of blockchain, and if time permits we'll have a demo of this blockchain. That is a general demo which is available already in the market, so in the internet. So I want to show how the hash works. That's it. Okay, so let me go through this blockchain timeline. If you see here, the blockchain got existed in 1991, 2008. In the year 2009, Er.S.K releases the Bitcoin white paper. From this 2009, that's when the Bitcoin is released, that has been taken, the first Bitcoin purchase has been taken place, that is 10,000 BTC takes place, that is in 2010 to 2011, that is for 1 year. And exactly in 2012, what had happened is we have placed the Bitcoin transactions for surplus of $1 billion, and we have released an Ethereum white papers has been released on this blockchain. So what is the Ethereum in 2014-15? The smart contracts has come into existence. So from the smart contracts in existence, when this Ethereum came into the market, there are so many of deployment, code exploited and attacked, though so many things has happened. So what we have done is we have used the EOS and Unreal blockchains, so that protocol for development of decentralized applications will be more secure. So this is the thing what happened in 2016 and 17 in the market, and the 2018 to till date today, what we are developing is we are trying out with so many kind of applications or in case studies. Research is going on the part of blockchain, how exactly we can apply. Okay, so this is about the blockchain timeline, what you are seeing here. In the next slide, let me tell you what is the blockchain. We'll go for the blockchain introduction. So what actually exists a blockchain system comprised of? So a blockchain system comprised of transactions, immutable ledgers, decentralized keys, encryption process, consequence mechanisms, and optimal smart contracts. So these are the 6 systems that have comprised of blockchains. So it depends on this process only. So once again I'm repeating for you guys, it's a transaction, immutable ledgers, decentralized keys, encryption process, consequence mechanisms, and operational smart contracts. So here we have 3 levels of blockchains what it had been go through. So what is the 3 levels of blockchains what we should focus here? That is for storage for digital records we should focus on, and exchange of digital assets, that is called tokens, and executing smart contracts. So executing smart contracts, you should always rely on 3 kinds of things, that is ground rule, and how ground rule means terms and conditions that will be recorded in the code, and here the distributed networks which has the contracts and monitors, compliances, everything, all the things will be getting into the distributed networks, and finally the outcome. So what is the outcome? Without the third party here, your data are getting validated. Okay guys, do remember this term third party. I'll come to this third party in the upcoming slides. Okay, so here I had given an analytical view of how the blockchain technologies has been applied for supply chain. If you see in supply chain managements, we have so many top technologies that is available, that is big data, Internet of Things, cognitive AI, ML, or so many things are available technologies. But if you see in the current year, it has been come up over the stage of this AL and ML, Internet of Things and blockchain. You can see here in this, the big data, this represents your big data. This is the first stage, and the next is blockchain. So the current ranking system of technology, analytical technologies, the blockchain is booming up. So this is the proof for you guys, and this data has been taken from all the official sites which has been mentioned on the left side. So here, industry-wise adoptions, if in India in 2019 we have seen that blockchain has been placed in this industry-wise. So industry-wise adoption of blockchain, if you see in public sector there is 15%, in health sector there is 25%, and BFSI, that is supply chain management, there is a 35% of increase in this industry-wise adoptions. And finally we had it come as a new trend, that is for logistics also, the blockchain is getting applied. So what is the technologies of a blockchain? So technologies of a blockchain consists of 6 technologies that has been focused here. So here starts from asymmetric encryption to proof of work. Okay, so if you see that's line by line the process how it exists is, so asymmetric encryption, that is called transaction signing, and after once that is done, then it goes for the hash functions, the blocking hash, as well as upstreaming public keys. So if I want to put a note for you guys, hash functions, what exactly it does is, so if you're going to have, for example, you have Gmail IDs, Gmail user and passwords. Once you put your password, you're getting inside, right? So recently we have so many cases around, in and around, not only in India, everywhere. There is a hacking of passwords has been taken place for Facebook's accounts, social medias, Gmails, bank accounts. So many things has happened. So here in blockchain, they especially uses the hash functions. Why they are using the hash function is, see, the basic rule of the hash function is, if any dictionary word you found out through your password that has been relied in the dictionary, then immediately what will happen, the hacker can easily find out what is that character matching, and they can match your characters, and they can take your password and they can put it up, and they can go inside your account. But if you use hashes, it consists of 32 byte funds, that 32 byte general codes that will be generated for each and everything. So I'll just talk about this hash function in the block diagram of this blockchain in the next upcoming slide, so that you guys will have a clear picture of how exactly that can be worked. Okay, and the next thing is Merkle trees. So here the Merkle trees is efficient ways to package transaction to blocks, and once the package has been done, we will be going for the key value database, that is lookups of previous transactions in order to prevent double spends. And finally we will be coming to the final communication protocol, that is sharing of transaction and block, that is through P2P transactions. Once everything is done, then the proof of work cell comes into this thing, and method to achieve consensus. So this is how the technology of a blockchain works. Okay, so we have been so many people will be just giving you an introduction about how exactly how the blockchain solutions are developed. We will be having so much of architecture, so many processes will be developed, and so many, everywhere we have blockchain. But exactly what we don't know is how these blockchain solutions are developed. So there exists the gap. So I want to just fill up the gap for you guys. So how the blockchain solutions are developed here. So for developing a blockchain, you guys should focus on these types. What it is it should identify the problem statement. First, it starts with the problem statement, and then it comes to your decision tree, what kind of distributed network you're going to use. And next, the plan and structure, it relies with your developers. So what will happen is your developing team will be planning up what is the exact structure of what will be the back end, what will be the front end, what we should use in order to solve the solution for the peoples. Okay, so here the front end, if you see the front end, what is the front end, basic front end you'll be using here is, here we will be using as the Drizzle. So Drizzle is nothing but a framework, and it's a tool for developing front and apps. So apps is distributed apps. And the next it comes to your development phase. So developers will guide the technical aspects of the environment, including what kind of problem you're going to solve and how you're going to solve, what are the things you're going to do, so that all the data will be kept in the private blocks. So that is the purpose of your development phase here. So we use tools here. Don't think that you are saying here Truffle, Remix, Metamax, either of these 3 tools we can use. No. for developing a blockchain environment, you should focus on these three. Okay, so the first we'll be going with the truffle. So what is the purpose of truffle here? So truffle is nothing but loading smart contracts onto the blockchain. And the remix is nothing but a web-based solid, that is IDE. Whatever the IDE we use, something like this, we have an IDE for blockchain also, that is remix. And next is MetaMask, which allows user to connect the Ethereum dApps through their browsers without having to run a Ethereum nodes. Okay, so these are the three tools what we use to have for developing the blockchain. And the next, once all these things are developed, then we'll be going for the testnet, that is testing purpose, and then we'll be going for the iteration level, and there involves the main and huge process what it should be. Here the mainnet plays a huge role in developing a solution by using blockchain. Why I am saying that plays a huge role, it's nothing but it can be called as an heart of your blockchain, the solutions to be developed. So what do you mean by mainnet? So this is the real Ethereum blockchain. Either it has a value, confidence in your dApps should be close to 100% before you deploy to the mainnet. That means, for example, in C++, whenever we write a program or we do a program, we'll be getting sometimes warning messages. Even we get warning message in debugging mode, but still you guys can execute the code and you can get the outputs. But in the case of this blockchain, it is not. You should be error prone. That means even the warning messages it exist also. You guys should solve that warning message, then only the entire code with exact data will be taken up inside. Otherwise, your solutions can't be deployed. So there plays a huge role of the mainnet. So this is how the blockchain solutions are developed. So let me go to the next section. That is a part of your introduction, part of your blockchain and how it exists and what is things happening, everything I had given to you in a brief. So here it comes the main picture where exactly the blockchains are really applied in the real world use cases. So if you see where exactly the blockchains are applied, it's applied everywhere, but I have taken only the top 50 plus, which is recently in the market, which they got deployed in the blockchain and they are running that process. So if you see here 50 plus blockchain real world use cases, it starts from government sector and it goes to the phishing. Okay, so anyhow this PPT will be shared with you guys so that you will have a clear picture. Exactly, if you have find time, you can just go to each and every real use case models what they have gone through and how they have applied and what they have done. Okay, some of the major things I can showcase for you here is IBM Walmart. So IBM is used for supply chain, and here MEDAC, that is healthcare, which they have been using for shipping, for real estates, for advertising agencies are using. Land registry is going through blockchain only nowadays. Journals, border controls, waste management, energy, tourism, national security, fine art, diamonds. Even in diamond sectors, they are using the blockchains. So how that have been done, you can just surf here DBS in internet so that you can get the case study of that process, how it exactly is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a small demo of how IBM supply chain works so that you guys can have a clear picture exactly how you can apply your blockchain, because in the previous slide you have seen how the blockchain solutions can be developed. So by using this example, this video of how IBM blockchain supply chains have been used in supply chain management through IBM, so that you can have a clear picture of how exactly the blockchain can be applied up. Okay, so let me go for a small demo for 2 minutes, so you just guys have some time to just go through this video now, right now.
Car companies make leasing look easy, but in reality, it can be quite complicated. A significant challenge faced by today's car leasing networks is that even though the physical supply chain is usually integrated, the supporting information systems are often fragmented. Imagine a world where every participant in this network could monitor, access, and share and analyze consistent and up-to-date information, irrespective of where the vehicle is in its life cycle. Imagine one agreed view of the complete vehicle history and how this would improve service, warranty, and/or recall costs. by providing an agreed shared record of vehicle information as it's transferred across the supply chain. Blockchain solutions from IBM can deliver just that. Let's take a look at how this would work. The government regulator creates and populates the registration for the new vehicle, which is loaded onto the blockchain. Car companies make leasing look easy, but in reality, it can be quite complicated. A significant challenge faced by today's car leasing networks is that even though the physical supply chain is usually integrated, the supporting information systems are often fragmented. Imagine a world where every participant in this network could monitor, access, and share and analyze consistent and up-to-date information, irrespective of where the vehicle is in its life cycle. Imagine one agreed view of the complete vehicle history and how this would improve service, warranty, and/or recall costs. By providing an agreed shared record of vehicle information as it's transferred across the supply chain, blockchain solutions from IBM can deliver just that. Let's take a look at how this would work. The government regulator creates and populates the registration for the new vehicle, which is loaded onto the blockchain. The smart contract ensures that only the regulator can do this. The regulator then transfers ownership of the vehicle to the manufacturer by invoking a transaction on the blockchain. The transaction is verified if all relevant parties agree. This is referred to as consensus, and it's made more efficient through blockchain usage. IBM Blockchain allows the validation method to be tailored to meet the needs of the business network. The manufacturer adds the make, model, and vehicle identification number to the vehicle template, again, as permitted by the smart contract. This update is visible to all members of the supply chain with the right permission. For example, dealerships in the network can see the new stock availability. The vehicle can then be transferred to the dealership on execution of a smart contract of sale. Again, the transaction is verified if all relevant parties agree and the vehicle template on the blockchain updated for all members of the network with appropriate permissions to see. After the vehicle is transferred to the leasing company, a lessee can finally lease the car. This synchronized process continues across the supply chain as the car passes to the end user and eventually to the scrap merchant who, as governed by the smart contract, has permission to dispose of the vehicle at the end of its life. At all stages, the security, integrity, and validity of vehicle information is assured using proven cryptographic services. With IBM Blockchain, you will be able to reduce the processing time to minutes instead of days. Since all the data is now stored in a secure, distributed ledger, all members of the supply chain never have to worry about vehicle information inconsistencies, leading to increased efficiencies, improved resilience with mitigation from cybersecurity and fraud risks. And not just that, IBM Blockchain will significantly bring down the processing costs by reducing the overhead associated with intermediaries.
So I think you guys got an got a clear picture of exactly how this IBM blockchain of demo car lease has been done through blockchain. So this is how we can apply through so many of technologies, but not to limit. So in today's session, I told in the starting of the session itself, especially we are going to focus on the education sector, how this blockchain can be brought so that the blockchain can be applied, how an education can impact, in an education sector, how this blockchain can impact. Huge. Okay, so the next thing what you're going to have is blockchain in education institutions. So how the impact is going to get created. So before that, I just want to have a quick question with you guys. So how many of them do you think that it's digital assessments a touch away? Can any of you just tell that is a touch away? In chat messages and quick chat, you can just give a reply yes or no. That's it. Okay. Wow, that's great. So so many of the people are telling yes. Okay, fine. So if you see here in the present situation, how the explore the education institution learners can use the technology as a transparent, trusted system for securing, sharing, and verifying academic achievements in India. That is a huge concern for us. Okay, so I just want to have a before why I am saying that in education sector we can have a biggest impact. Why I am been mentioning that thing, I will tell you with an example, exact problem statement what actually the India is getting faced up right now. Okay, so in the next slide we will be seeing about exactly what the problem that India has going through. So here we have the biggest challenges, that is graduate assessments. So in this COVID-19 case, in the COVID-19 this impact, COVID-19 impact, we have been gone under so much of challenges right now. So we guys are sitting in home and we are training our students through online platform. So how many of them guys will accept that this assessment challenges what I am showing is true for you guys or not? So if you say it's true, then it can be given as a rating as a yes and no. Okay, so these are the major challenging part for adaptation of digitalizations in the current challenges, in the current impact what we are going through. So if you're going for digital platforms, the biggest thing is for assessment in terms of access. So we can go for assessments. If you're a computer science department student, okay, he can write the program and he can take a snap and he can just send to us through digital portals, so that we will be seeing the assignment and we'll be using the model to analyzing it. So my question for you guys is, assessment in terms of access can be happen for architectural department students, aeronautical students? Can it be done? It's the biggest task for them, because in architecture we have so many diagrams. How you are going to bring this diagrammatic representation to your digital platform? So there exists the biggest drawback. And the next emphasis on quality, value, relevance and ethics fit assessment of the records digitally. So when we had gone through this assessment challenges through online to make a survey, yeah, exactly, you know, what assessments what we have been mentioning, the same thing has been happened. The assessment challenges what I am mentioning here, that has been cited by S by 60% of people out of 100, and 40% people said no. So this 40% they relied on, especially on security purpose. How you are going to protect your data through online. Whenever you are going to post some data, so how we are going to protect the data. So that is a major concern for them. So these are the graduate assessment challenges what has been gone through. In the next slide, let me discuss the big picture. Exactly what's going to, why I am saying we should bring blockchain to education, why we are mentioning it from the start to end, and why I am saying it's powerful tool. Let me explain to you guys right now. So everyone will be graduated at one day, right? So when you guys graduated, so what's happened? You are getting your degree certificate with an accreditation, with CGPA, everything mentioned, with all the grades, right? With all your consolidated score sheets and everything. So do you think your data are safe? Simple question. Do you think your data are safe? If you think safe, how it's getting safeguarded? So that is my question. If you ask with me, I'll say your data are not saved. If your data got saved in database also, it is getting hacked up. You don't believe me? So let me put up the big picture what is going through in India right now. So then you will have a clear picture of exactly what my big picture I'm going to show you. So if you see here, India stood 4th position in Asia Pacific. Number of discrepancies found. You guys believe me now? Can you guys believe it? India is number 4. First is Philippines, second is Malaysia, Japan 23%, India. So in this 23% in India, the survey we have taken it from India from January 2014 to 15. It contains discrepancies. 23% of background checks on potential employees conducted in India from January to contain discrepancies. And almost 3 out of 10 screenings conducted a lie or a discrepancies. That means your certificates are getting hacked up. Your credentials are getting hacked up. So that, for example, what's happening exactly is, see, I have finished my degree in 2007. So I mean 2007. Okay. So once I get my degree, so what's happening is 2000 degree, the name which I got is Er.S.K Shankar with a registered number of this thing. I got my degree with this much credentials CGPA. So what's happening is, so when another guy is coming with my same credentials what I got with different name, but my registered number is same. The database, when I checked inside the college, the database, the register number is same, and the name is Er.S.K Shankar, and another person coming with the same certificate with the same register number with different name. There exists the problem. So 52 discrepancies are related to education sphere, and 11% is related to employment discrepancies. That means making a bogus certificate of another company that he has worked over there for this many years and he had relieved from that position. So that is the discrepancies what I am mentioning here, 11%. In 2014, if you see, 26% of discrepancies found in screening has increased. Year on year, it has been increasing. To be frank, current situation, it's not get officially released the data. It's going to release, that is Economic Time is going to release that. So in India, the bogus certificates percentage has been raised to 72%, and India has come to the Asia Pacific ranking as second rank country. So there exists the biggest picture. So how you guys are going to solve this issue? There exists the problem. Even you use AI, ML, whatever you brings inside, no, the thing will happen. Because why this big picture is getting, why and what exact structure is getting up inside to print your certificates, I'll give you in the next slide. So now the current structure of modern database institutions, this is a structure what you used to use. So if you see here, the structure what we have been using here is, all the informations has been stored here. So user informations will be stored in central database. So from the central database that has been managed and controlled by the institutions. So what we used to do is, whenever we're going to print a certificates for as a degree thing, there is so much of big process that had involved. I don't want to relive out all the process what has been happening. So once that all the process has been done, our certificates will be printed by a third party. So third party here, we think that we are giving only for one authorized person who has been present in the outside world. But there exists the biggest problem, because the one third party is linked with many. So that is the representation here, 1:many. So what he does is, he shares your data to others. So there exists the big picture. So your credentials, your register numbers, everything is leaked up by them, so that all the data has been put up over the third party's side. So what these peoples will do, for once the data has been given to them, and they'll print the certificates and they will return back to the colleges, and then the certificate will be issued to the students. So there exists the problem. So exactly what problem we exist here is challenges, present scenarios. So data can be changed or hacked. That is the first concern. And data can be deleted, and institutions can prevent access. Institutions can put on restrictions to access the data once they are given to the third parties. So institutions can use of data in unauthorized manner with minimal data access. So these are the challenges what we have in the present scenario. If we want to safeguard our brands also, we have the biggest concern how we are going to safeguard our brand, because the institution brands are getting boomed up here in industry sectors. Because you guys are going for an interview, you are going to provide all your certificates to them. So what we used to do, so back end side, what from industry, what we used to do is, I am a HR panel. So what I used to do here there is, we will take the certificate of you guys, and we will be giving the certificate to the colleges or concerned things from where you obtained your certificate, and we will ask for verification. So once that have been verified by your institution with your register number is this is a student, he got a grade of this thing and he has passed on this date. Passed on this year. Okay, so once we get all this approved data, then only we will be giving you an offer letters. Until then, you will be put on the hold only. So why we are doing this is because we have been showing so much of disturbances in the digital certificates, whatever that's getting up. Even we used to have some Coursera platforms, edX, all the platforms are all available. But the biggest problem, so to get a job, what we will do, without doing courses online, we use Photoshops. We'll take the similar certificate, we'll take that thing, we'll change the name, we'll change all the credentials, and finally you will be producing a certificate that you had completed this thing. But for you, the biggest concern, what's happening, the hash, the blockchain technology, if you bring it inside this thing process, you can safeguard. Let me explain to you in the next things, upcoming slides, how this blockchain can bring it to your modern database, structure of your modern database institutions, so that we can avoid all the challenges what we are going through. Okay, so in the next thing, I'm going to tell you about how the blockchain bridges the gap. So once you bring the blockchain to bridge the gap, so the gap here, what we are focusing here is institutions safeguard their brands and reputations when issuing academic credentials and aspirations to individuals to maximize the learning portfolio. So how to bridge the gap between the education blockchains? Let me just give you in 3 points. So blockchain, it's catching up interest in the education sector. However, stakeholders with education are largely unaware of social advantages and potential of blockchain technology. With the educational sphere, the adoption of blockchain technology in the replacement of paper-based assessments has both advantages and disadvantages. I don't want to talk about what are the advantages, what are the challenges, everything. It is under research stage, what is happening. Okay, so how exactly we can bridge the gap between the education by implementing the blockchain? This is the structure what I want to give you through. Okay, so if you see here, what will happen in the first stage? The institutions, all the user database will be stored in the central database as it is, and they'll be getting the certificate, they'll be going for certificate printing. So there exists the certificate, and certificates will be given some hash values. That is, hash value consists of 32 bytes which is mixed up with numbers, numeric and variables. So once this has been given, it will be set with the private key. Once the private key is assigned to the digital certificate, digital signed certificate, then the hash value will be stored inside the certificate. So once the hash value of the certificate has been stored, it will be stored in the blocks. Okay, that's what exactly what blockchain is. So what exactly the blockchain? It consists of blocks, different blocks. So inside the blocks, each block will be stored with some hash value with your data. So similarly like this, for all students, we will be creating so many blocks. Under the blocks, we will be storing all the hash values. So then we will be sending back the hashed e-certificate data to the institutions. So once that has been done, what the institutions can do is, the institutions can issue the certificate that has been generated through blockchain with secure digital certificate to the degree holders. Okay, there exists the biggest advantage of using the blockchain. So my question for you guys, did you see anywhere any third party over here? No. So here the blockchain, once you bridge the gap between the education, what happens is you can bridge without third party. That is the biggest advantage of blockchain. So this exists. So this is the modern architecture what has been given for blockchain education to bridge the gap. So if we need more secure or data to be secured more, you can go for some security algorithms so that you can bring so much of advantage, so much technology inside, and you can bring it into a different architecture also. I'm not saying you guys should rely on this architecture only. No, there is nothing like that. You can have your own architecture, and you can safeguard you can make your brands or reputations of your institutions, of your degree certificates, whatever it is, to be more secure. You can bring so much of changes in the structure. So it is an open structure. It is declared as an open structure so that you can bring more security to your concerns also. So that can be also is possible in this blockchain. So there is a pilot study. I just want to give to you a pilot study. This is a pilot study what happened in MIT. It introduced new digital certification program powered by blockchain technology. So where they have generated 111 graduates become the first to receive the digital diplomas. So let me explain how exactly these 3 layers will work under this thing. In the first slide, do you remember I had given you 3 layers of blockchain? So the same 3 layers is coming here over here, and the same 3 layer structures that had been implemented, and they had generated the blockchain, generated certificate with hash values, and they had been issued to the students of MIT diploma. So we'll see how exactly this digital diploma MIT process, the 3 layers has been taken place. So in this layer of productions, the blockchain, they had focused on presentation, content and receipt. So presentation, that represents your the first layer, that is what you see, what we used to see in your certificate, your name, your college name, your degree B.Tech IT, information technology, computer science specialization, and then your CGPA, and back of this thing, the signatures of your higher officials. So that is a basic presentation level. And next, the content where we'll be using the IDE platform to write codes to protect your data, whatever you have on the top layer of your certificates. Okay, and finally a receipt is generated. So here the receipt is nothing but that have been written through JSON files, because whatever the content you have, there is a single one-way hash value that has been generated. That single hash value will be stored inside this blockchain, that is blocks, and the recipient JSON files, so that all the things will be taken up. So once all these things put it together, then a public ID will be generated for them. So the public, with this public ID, they will be verifying the certificates, and whether the digital signature has been verified, whether it has an hash value, everything can be done. Once the hash values are given and put in the blocks by using the blockchain, then no one can hack your data. So there exists the biggest security what we should focus. In the present scenario, we don't have this thing. So what we can do is these 3 layers we can just focus upon. Okay. So next thing, what I want just giving you an overview of building a blockchain is not only for effective gadget assessments and valuations, even for doing so many things. We have 3 stages to be followed up in this blockchain to be more effective. So step 1, a self-sustained education ecosystem can develop on top of a blockchain for fair valuations without need of a central trusted entity, that is third parties. And step 2, to make the test as transparent as possible, we store the hash digest of every questions asked and even every answers directly on the blockchain. Even for valuation purpose, you can go for this online test. And the final step, this facilitates the tracing of how exactly a candidate received a score he or she received. So it can add more credibility to obtain the certificates. So these, when you focus on the 3 stages, you can make your certificates more effective, and your assessments, valuations, whatever it is, by using the blockchain, you can make it more. So that is the reason why I said blockchain technology too powerful to ignore. So the biggest advantages, once you use the technologies, what are the biggest things what you'll have is self-sovereignty, identity, trust you have, transparency and provisions, because there is no third party involved, so there is a little bit full of transparency between your management alone. So immutability and disintermediations. So no one can interact or intermediate to hack your data. So this is what I said I want to just convey you for your today's session. So I will really thank you for you guys for your patient listening, and if you have any queries, you can just pop it off. Before that, I just want to thank my faculty, Dr. T. Subbulakshmi ma'am, and FX Engineering College, and the coordinators for this webinar, and also the management people who has given me an opportunity to talk to you guys today. Very, very thank you. And I would like you guys to focus on blockchain more, so that so much of researchers are going on blockchain technology, especially in education, so that you guys can put your hands on that. If you want to have a research, my suggestion for you guys, just go for the blockchain technology and just go and try to implement some security inside, so that we can avoid the big picture what you have seen for today. Okay, thank you one and all.